And welcome back.
We've got another episode of the Not So Perfect podcast for you here. As always, my name is Matt Chin, along with my co-host,
Gerardo Cornejo.
the Gerardo Cornejo.
Welcome to the Not So Perfect podcast.
So, how's life?
Rainy today.
Beautiful weather for July.
Yeah,
in
we got a
Missouri.
cool down. Yesterday and today was a beautiful cool down.
Yes.
Evenings have felt refreshing. I talked to my buddy in Nevada yesterday. Shout out to Las Vegas. They're at 110 degrees. Yesterday was an oven over there.
Yeah.
But so their 110 still doesn't beat our
No.
90 with
90 plus 100%.
1,000% humidity.
Yes.
So, but yeah, grateful for the weather.
Good. Yeah, I've been taking full advantage, getting outside, doing some yard work. Got the grass cut
you're doing
yesterday.
housework.
Did a deep weed eating job, sprayed my fence line for some weeds and all that fun stuff. And then I also, my annual shrub trimming of my house. I've got 2 on the back corner that I took care of on Monday. And then I worked on the privacy trees that are in front of my awning yesterday.
Is this something you are offering as a service on the side to our audience?
I'm going to charge so much that you will be better off finding somebody else or doing it yourself.
Just burn the bush.
Yes. So, got all that done. Now today all I got left to do is I just got to rake those limbs into bags, which is the reason why it's the last thing I'm left to do.
Just work.
I'm not looking forward to it.
Just work.
But yes, we've been very fortunate with the weather, with everything going, how the week's gone. But yeah, back to full week of clients. Last week I had like 7 people off with vacation, and now back in the swing of it. So been a good week, blessed week. Love being busy. It's funny how when I'm super busy with like a full week of just appointments or whatever else I got going on, I am so much more productive than whenever I've got like
time.
Saturday, take your time, nothing really scheduled.
What am I supposed to do?
I won't do anything. And then whenever I'm super busy, where I've got like a 40-minute window, I can somehow get the grass cut, weed eat, spray the fence line, trim some shred. Like I always do it on days where I'm just jam-packed. So it's just interesting how my brain works and how I operate. So,
But it's just what you tell the brain to do. We're either scheduling, focused, or
yeah, dude, you're off. You're good. No, you got all day to do this. You don't need to do it now. Why would you do it now? Just kick your feet up, relax.
get it.
Well, guess
done.
what I got done that day? Nothing. Nowhere close to what I should have gotten done. But anyways, I digress.
How's mentally? How's this week been going? What
Mentally
are things
going
you've experienced?
Yeah,
Things you got better?
Let's see. What
Things
have I
you
gotten
figured
better
out?
at? So I guess one example would be just the mental battle I usually have, like I was just talking about with my slow weekends if I don't have a lot going on versus a busy week during the day. So yesterday I was convinced that I'm going to start, or first all I'm going to do is I'm just going to mow the grass. That's it. Don't do anything more. Just do that. Well, I got done mowing the grass and I started pulling the weeds. Got done with that. All right, pull the weeds and then we'll be done after that. Well, then after I got done pulling the weeds, then my neighbor was on his other side of the fence spraying his fence line. So I asked if he was going to spray our fence line. He said yes. I was like, well, I'll just do mine while I'm at it. So then I did that, and then I was staring at those privacy trees, which I just have not wanted to do. It's like, you know what? Just start whatever you can reach from the ground. We'll just leave it there. Well, I got done doing that, and then my ladder was already up behind the house. So I really wanted to take a break, but I kept going, and then I got the ladder up. I started working on all that, and next thing you know, I got them all done. So I didn't have anything to do last night after I got home from work. So turns out if you just get the shit done, you got a lot nicer rest of your day ahead
you
of
get some life back.
Yeah, so that's where my mental status is at, kind of like juggling flamethrowers, if you will.
So for those of you in the that are not in the Midwest, for our international viewers,
Yes.
this is what we do in summertime: clean the fence lines, grass, shrubs.
Yes.
And I think some of the World Cup travelers,
Pull weeds.
some of the World Cup travelers got to see our yards, and we buy expensive machines to keep them cut and put fancy lines in there and sprinklers going off. It's a beautiful plant. It's the only plant I can keep alive.
It's a badge of honor.
Yeah.
Badge of honor when you're watering your grass.
Yeah, but I went to Ace and I bought a hedge trimmer, and me and Stacy went at it with the fence line. So we were doing the same thing.
Yeah.
Cleaning up the fence line, and the dog is trying to sneak through there to go to see the cows, but he
again,
does have a bigger window now.
Yeah, but again, you appreciate what goes into that when you do it
yeah.
yourself. So again, you wouldn't appreciate that if you paid some high school kid to spray your fence line, pull your weeds along the fence line, whatever. You don't appreciate it as much as you do when you do it yourself, because you know what it took, how hot it was when you did it, you know, so that way when your kids go and they undo all the stuff you just got done working on, it's like, okay, this is going to be a life lesson, guys. Remember what I did yesterday for like 9 hours? You guys, good news for you. There's 3 of you to do this, so you can all spread it out. You're all going to do what Dad did yesterday. So if you ever think about undoing what I did yesterday ever again, you're going to know exactly why Daddy is upset with whatever happened. So, or at least that's how my dad used to train us.
That's how you trained. But this week, obviously doing a bunch of stuff outside, my son came up to me yesterday and he was like, hey, Daddy, I want to start doing all the projects with you. And this week, been really noticing my son's 10, just turned 10 this year. But lately, he's been asking to like grow up, like do things. Hey, can I do this? Hey, can I do that? And usually I'm like, no, you're too small. Don't do it. Da, da, da. But seeing Stacy do it, you know, like, no, you don't. You're too young. Da, da, da. But he's asking us to do it. So, hey, Stacy, let's step back. Let's check this out real quick because he's wanting to do these things.
Yeah.
So been letting him, you know, and like he's asking, let me be responsible. Let me be responsible. And I don't like it because that's my baby boy growing up. But as a man, like,
yeah,
you know, like one example I told Stacy was like, as a man and having a son, we see our son like as they are at the moment. But when you have daughters, you just see that baby girl and the see baby girl and the one like wearing the princess crown dressed up or just like bald baby, beautiful, you know, like no matter what Ari's doing or Marley's doing, I just see that my baby girl. But when it's your son, like you just see them at the moment, like, cause you gotta be a man, be a man, be a man. But kind of what we're talking about here, it's like, no, like you want them to be responsible, but still have feelings. Be a mama's boy still, like snuggle with your mom and be kind to women. Yesterday, we finally had a family dinner and Irie, our oldest, was calling Jacob out because she's like, Jacob, you always act different when you're around girls and you try to da-da-da-da-da. So like, Jacob, just listen. She's teaching you game right now.
Yeah, this is a cheat code.
This is cheat code even for you. You've been watching. My daughter was like, just compliment them. Say something nice about them. Like you don't have to like show off.
You don't have to push them down the slide and let them know you like them.
Yeah. You don't have to pinch them or
yeah, you
chase them and trip them.
You don't have to be mean or honorary to them to let them know you like them.
Compliment them. Be nice. Just be friendly and say something nice. And you don't have to keep talking da-da-da-da. I was like, Jacob, like pay attention. She's
take some notes,
yeah,
buddy.
Take some notes.
Write
So it's so cool. Every day is a new day now with them growing older. And back to teaching responsibility to my daughter, Ari is now driving the side-by-side around the neighborhood. So, you know, it's like back to teaching my kids how to drive now. And the other day, the whole family was in the car. And it's just watching my little baby girl driving while my baby girl's in the middle. I'm over here. Jacob was next to me. Marley's in the back, just like on the seatbelt, just like this, enjoying the ride. And then Stacy's in the back. The dog's all scratching her up. Stacy's just all stressed out, no matter what. But that's where we're at in life. But letting them has been my lesson this week. And just really listening and hearing them. They're telling you like what they want to do and how they feel.
Yeah.
And usually like my dad, for example, like you said, your dad would show up stressed out. Jacob, you didn't put the trash can in. That was me. Or like, hey, Jacob, dude, you're 10 years old. I don't need to be reminding you every Wednesday. Help your mom out.
Yeah.
Help your mom out. So it's okay. This Wednesday, you did it. Ari wanting to drive. Okay, let's go do it. She wanted to drive the BMW at first, my old BMW. But I was like, no, there's no room for error in a car in a subdivision. You know, the side by side, at least just let go of everything and it stops.
Right. Yeah.
So that's where I'm doing this week and learning being a parent.
Yeah. Well, I think the big thing about that is I just remember growing up and I was with my dad regardless growing up, like during the summers, like we spent our time with him pretty much like as soon as he got off of work, from working the night shift, where you'd either get home at 8 o'clock in the morning or if you did a 12-hour shift, you'd get home at a little after 11. So he'd get home and as soon as he was home, like we had to be basically sitting on the front porch ready because he was not going to waste any time. Go home, whatever, drop his stuff off, change clothes out of his uniform into work clothes, and then we go out to the trailer park and we work. And I mean, there was every day we were working on something different, something I had no clue what it was, how to fix it. And I'd always want to, start helping with some of that stuff after watching him change or fix a wet floor next to the bathtub 1,000 times, or watching him, whatever it is. We're replacing a water heater, or we're pulling out an old refrigerator, putting in a new one because it stopped working, or whatever the deal is. So there's always something new we're working on or learning or whatever. So me growing up, I just had to sit back out of the way and shut up and just watch. So for a kid that's 6, 7, 8, 9, 10-hour old, that's super boring because I got questions. I need to know all the things. Well, again, talking about how your dad like stressed out getting home from work, and just my dad was always at a 10. Just like one wrong move, one drop of a tool, like you're one slip up away from getting just reamed up and down, back and forth, front, back, side to side. Like, so anyways, like I remember always growing up wanting to, when do I get to weedy? When do I get to use the riding lawnmower? How come Brian always gets to do it and I don't? And my dad just didn't have the time to let us do that. It's just one of those things that he was working on little sleep, probably hadn't eaten that day, and just doing that on repeat with no sleep, just always on a level 10, for all of my life until I was about, got to high school, and then he quit the night job and was just doing the rental properties. But yeah, so if you're going to do that and the kid wants to do it, just dads out there, just be patient with them. They're not going to get it right because they haven't done it either ever or more than once, So don't get mad at them. Don't get frustrated. That's like when you were talking about, I just go back to just getting my ass chewed out for not knowing what a 3/4 inch socket wrench was, in my dad's 16 toolboxes that he had in the back of his truck. And I'm, 6 and don't know what a crescent wrench is. So I'm the asshole apparently, but don't do that. It doesn't leave a good reputation. Your kid's not going to love you as much when he gets older if that's how you handle teaching him new things, because you feel like an idiot. I felt like a dipshit, and I felt like a fucking moron most of my life because that's how I was spoken to growing up, which explains a lot why whenever I got sober, I had to work on my self-talk and so again, all of that stuff trickles down, whether if you don't see it in the moment, that could be something that fucks him up 10 years from now, 20 years from now, 30 years from now. You don't know. So if you're going to do that, I think it's great. I think it's awesome, but just have patience. Hey, buddy, it's okay. Don't get mad at yourself. Dad messed this up 100 times whenever he started learning how to do this with Grandpa, like it's part of it. You're going to mess up a bunch, but use it as a learning experience because fixing a water heater, you're not always going to get it right the first time. Fixing a wet floor, you're not always going to get it right the first time. Well, guess what? That sounds a lot like life. So there's life lessons in all of these little things, especially as they get older and they get a little bit more mature and they want more responsibility, because with more responsibility means more trust from mom and dad. Well, Jacob, you've proven you can take the trash out every Wednesday morning or Tuesday night, whatever. You've done that four Wednesdays in a row. Okay, your new job, you said you wanted to do this. If you did it good, we'd get you a new baseball glove or something, whatever it is. You know? So there's, I do this right and I do it good and I continue to do it good. Oh, okay, get a reward.
And they do great on rewards.
So again,
I guess the kid brain works great on rewards.
Very simple. It's very simple. You don't need to overcomplicate it with kids because they see, task, reward, where, we kind of,
But look at what you described, how you had a productive weekend.
Yeah.
Task, and the reward was like, it's all done.
Chill.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I'm not saying I'm opposed to chilling, but don't chill until your shit's done. You know what I mean? So that's the thing. Get your shit done before it's 150 degrees with 1,000% humidity at noon, when you could get all that stuff done before noon.
It's funny you brought up how your dad would show up at a 10.
Oh my God. He was just
And so
pissed
I
off
was
and
prepared
tired,
for that.
Pissed off, tired, exhausted, hungry.
I was prepared. I've done my chore list that I didn't even have a chore list. It was just like, I know what he's going to nitpick. I know that this table needs clean. I know that there's dust over there. The pillows over there, like, we got to vacuum. And, but then here's Linda. Linda's just like, bring it on, Dad. Tell me how stressed you are, because I'm going to I'm gonna
ramp
take
it
that
up.
10 to 25, and then I would just sit there and just watch them go at it. It's like, who's gonna throw something at each other first? Of course, my mom's at the other job. She doesn't even know or see any of this.
So how old are you? How old is this? Like
This
an
is
example of
elementary
this?
school. This is elementary school. Because it was early in our age. It was elementary school because I was just waiting for my dad to come home so we can go to soccer practice.
Oh, okay.
So I'm like, I'm clean. My shoes my cleats are like, everything's packed
Spotless.
up. Yeah, ready like for soccer expectations because soccer was everything to my dad.
Yeah.
I just wanted to go to practice. So I was like, how long is this fight gonna be? And Linda's just like, bring it on, Dad. Bring it on. Yeah. She'll go, yeah, punch for punch with my dad. So that watching all that, and it was just part of life. But now, like when I get home and I'm like, okay, no, you made it home.
Yeah.
And they all come in like it's a race now. Like I think I've said it before, it's a race. Whoever hugs daddy first gets a prize. So back to task and reward,
Yeah.
And then there ends up being a prize. But now it's just a habit, and it's pretty cool. Yes, they're stressful and all that. And there is a Instagram or post, social media post that says, imagine being a kid, imagine being an adult and stressed, but imagine being a kid dealing with stressed adults all the time.
I think that's, and honestly, looking back on just where my life went and why I was the way I was, I think that had a lot to play with just me because I was always growing up like in a constant state of almost fear because, like I said, my dad would come home from work at a 10. You know, let's just say there was an instance where he didn't have to go out to the trailer park and work and he was able to get some sleep. Well, try and sleep from, 8 a.m. until noon, just for example. When you own rental property and there's no cell phones and all you have is a landline phone, well, guess what rang every time somebody wanted to call about a trailer or interested about renting a trailer? If you answer that phone past 3 rings and you hear that back bedroom door open, run. Because you're going to get the living shit smacked out of you. So that's just how my life was. He was always just irritable. He was always at like a 9 or a 10. So, so there was a lot of arguing about money growing up and the bills. And, I just remember growing up from a young age, like, man, I'm never going to be this way about money or bills or just like, why are we arguing about this stuff? If we let's just get less. As a kid, that just seemed very simple to me. Why are we doing all this extra stuff if we don't need it? Why do we need a lake cabin if we're just going to yell about shit all the time and doesn't even seem like we're happy,
And you had a lake cabin.
But yet this is happiness, I guess. I'm scared shitless. I think I peed my pants, I don't know. But so that was something that really it traumatizes kids at a young age whenever there's just a constant state of chaos or just a constant state of just irritability out there. So guys, think about it. You only get one chance growing up with your kids. So if your job whenever they're adults and they're 18 and they can rebut a lot at 18 that they remember from every year before that. And if you don't think they're going to remember, just wait till they throw some of that shit back in your face. Because I remember yelling at my dad whenever I was 18 and we were just butting heads. And, I'd bring up stuff that he didn't like me bringing up. But guess what? It was true, So, again, be patient working with those kids, especially if they're asking for responsibility, give it to them. They're wanting it because guess what? If you always say no, they're going to stop. They're going to realize there's no point even bringing this up. And God,
I'll never do this right.
Next thing you're digging a trench out by the back of the house, like, man, it would be nice if I get some help around here, Well, Dad, I asked you for 9 years. You wouldn't let me touch a shovel. So guess what? I'll go find something else to do, So it's a small window you have to really take advantage of that. So make sure you guys really enjoy it.
And as an adult.
And do it the right way. Do it the right way. Don't yell. Don't scream. Don't get mad when they don't get it right the first time. Because I bet if you ask yourself if you got it right the first time, you didn't. So just keep that in mind.
We finished that ride with Irie last night. She's like, I did so bad. I never got jerky is what they call, the side-by-sides and all that. She's like, I haven't had that jerky of a ride and I did so bad. I was like, Irie, we're alive. We parked it in the garage. We get to try again tomorrow.
Yeah. Hey, let's just start with this, okay? If you think you did a bad job, did anybody die?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and a dog. Okay, we got everybody. We're good. Okay, so it wasn't that bad. You know?
And it was good. The neighbors also got a side by side, and she's younger than Irie. She's been driving it, so they're kind of both helping each other out. But it was good for Irie to see Kennedy. Shout out to Kennedy. Driving our side by side with no fear, but like not abusing it, but
she's comfortable with it.
Yeah, she was just like, she just went with it.
She's been there before.
She just went with it. Where Irie's just like overthinking everything, and she's our overthinker. But she's overthinking everything and feeling it. And what are they gonna say of how I drive? Where Kennedy's just like, "Ooh, I'm driving a new side by side," and like following instructions and everything. So, and then Irie's like, are you listening to the gears and how they catch? And that's driving. That's the fun part of driving.
Yeah.
That's why we won't have electric cars. Because
100%.
there's a joy in driving, to me at least.
Yeah.
Or to the car guys. But how does an adult now remind themselves to not attack and be on attack mode after a full day of, you've given humans and adults all day at work, hours and hours, and then you come home to your loved ones, and then how do you not treat them like a punching bag?
Well, first off,
Because you have a son you go to
I do.
that's waiting for you, like
Yeah.
just happy to see you. He don't care how hard you've worked today, who cussed you out, who yelled at you on the ride home.
Yeah. Well, the way I kind of look at it is, look, my dog has expectations every day, and they're non-negotiable. There's no way around it. Because if not, he's just going to make the rest of my day even worse. Like he won't ever settle down because he's going to want his stuff. He's going to go on lots of walks. He's going to want his treats. He's going to want his medicine. He's going to go outside about 500 times, sit in the backyard. And guess what? That's fine. What else? If I'm home to spend time with him, what else am I doing? What else is so pressing that I can't take 15 minutes and take him for a walk? Because on a walk, he's going to bump into 5 neighbors that he knows. He's going to get 3 different treats. We're going to chat and bullshit about the weather and da-da-da-da, So I come back from a walk feeling better. He comes back from a walk feeling better. I wave at all my neighbors that I see whenever I'm around there. That always puts me in a good mood. And again, getting to chat with my neighbors, bullshitting with them on what they got planned for the weekend, what they're doing today. I always feel better getting done with a walk, just kind of like this podcast. I always feel better after a podcast because it's kind of like therapy, And for me, if I go on my walk with the dog and I'm not waving, I will eat myself up the rest of the day because what was so pressing that I couldn't wave at a neighbor? Nothing. And if you make an excuse that says that, yes, I have a reason not to wave at my neighbors, I don't think that's real. You're taking yourself way too serious. So biggest thing I would say is these are the expectations every day that you should expect every time you get home. Your wife comes and gives you a big hug and a kiss. Mm-hmm. Your kids run up and see who can hug dad first. Well, I don't know too many people first off, I would love to have that every time I come home. I don't have that, so I have a dog that licks my face instead, which is fine, But again, this is a woman that you love unconditionally, okay? So tell me why your day was so busy you can't appreciate her appreciating you being home. And then secondly, with the kids, they're your kids. You guys made these kids, and they're excited to see you. Tell me what about your day was so busy, stressful, important, blah, 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 that you can't appreciate those 5 minutes when you get home. And that's an honest question. What days where you've had real tough days, what was your thought process when you got home? When you walked through that door where you're like,
oh man,
if these kids hug me for another 13 seconds, so help me God. You have no idea what my day was. Like, listen how ridiculous that sounds just saying it out loud. And these are just innocent kids that have been waiting all day for you to get home.
They've missed you.
And
then when all 3 are like, can we play baseball? Can we play volleyball? Can we go da-da-da-da-da-da-da? Let's do it all. Let's squeeze it in.
Come on, let's go.
And it's taken me, so I'm 20 years into my career, stressful career, of let's call it small business ownership career, because we all can relate when it's just, we're all small businesses.
Yeah.
But lately I've been having the best time of my career, and it's been within the last 2 weeks, because I'm getting to that phase of my career where I just want a clear mind, and I don't want to carry this, and I don't want to do things I don't like. I'm too old. I've been in it too long. I have too much waiting for me and expecting for me to get home to bring that home. So recently I've been clearing of negativity and bad things, and doing this 20 years later, it's never too late. Especially I'm training that to younger agents now. My sister's in her 5th year, and with Linda, all you're talking about is work. Schedule a trip, get out of here.
Yeah.
Schedule a trip, get out of here. You're stressed, you're losing sleep. I used to lose a ton of sleep, but now I tuck my kids in bed. I get time with everybody. We relax on the couch with Stacy. All right, done. We're home.
Yeah.
It's and reset and do it all again tomorrow. But it took me a while to not be like, get off me, like, you didn't do this, now I gotta go do this, and da-da-da. Oh, wait. It's not your guys' fault.
Yeah.
That's over there's fault. Here is home.
Well, and I'll just tell that to those people out there. If you're a dad or a mom that comes home and is a lot of times in that mood where don't even touch me, you have no idea that, like, if that's your initial reaction when you get home, walk inside, give your kids a hug, give your husband or wife a hug and a kiss, like, if that's how you are every day after work, I would strongly suggest before you go home, go hit a 30-minute walk outside somewhere. Go to the Y and hit a 30-minute workout of just, you need to do something to get that shit out of your body. Because the first people that need to receive your stress for the day should not be your kids or your husband or your wife. That's something you got to work out amongst yourself. Because honestly, your kids should make you happy when you come home. Your wife should make you happy when you come home. So if you're so self-absorbed that your day was so much more important than your kids or your wife being happy to see you, that's a you problem. And that doesn't fall on anybody else other than you. So if that means you need to find a different job because you're miserable where you're at, that's just like you said, it's never too late. I got into this business late, full time, but I've never been happier, and I never would have known if I didn't take that leap of faith into meeting with Gerardo to check out this space, I don't know if I can afford it, it better be the right price or it's gonna, holy cow, that's the perfect price. Holy cow. All right, so again, all the things I was doing, when you're not stressed all the time, things work so much better. When you put all that stuff and you just stack more stress on top of more stress, your performance doesn't excel. It usually decreases, okay, because you're juggling too many things. And I remember with Linda, she was asking me, this was probably a month or two ago, she was asking me, what do you do with clients, that are, well, this person can do it for cheaper and this person can do it for, she's like, I've been working with these people and I try and do all this stuff and I try and, cut some corners for that or for this to try and make it, but the thing is, I go, Linda, I was like, your value. Like, if these people don't like you because this person's doing it for $100 cheaper, then let them go find out what $100 cheaper looks like in service and all the stuff that you do for them. Like, you shouldn't have to explain yourself outside of like an initial meeting with somebody. You shouldn't have to explain anything more than just your resume. Just slide it to them. There's 10 people that I work with on a regular basis. Feel free to call any of them and let you know how I operate, how easy it was for them to, you're the proof right here. You don't need to be showing everybody every single thing that you've done or try and let them nickel and dime you. Your price is your value. Your value is what you value yourself in your service at. So if someone comes in here and haggles with me saying, well, I got a guy down the street that'll do a personal training session for $30 an hour. Cool, hit him up. Like, I'm not gonna, are you serious? Like, I don't, like, first off, if you go to the YMCA and hire a trainer, the minimum you're gonna pay is at least $80 an hour. I am almost cutting half of that price because I don't have to charge any more than that. And I think that's a fair price. Again, $80 compared to $50. I don't have a 7,000 square foot building I have to maintain, so I don't have to charge $80. I don't have a boss to pay this up to, so I'm not cutting this check in half, So for me, that's the kind of stuff that I got to do. But I don't budge on my value, because guess what, Linda? These aren't the only people buying a house. Everybody's going to be buying a house at some point. Everybody's going to be selling a house at some point. A lot of people are going to be selling the house to buy a new house, Don't renege on your value. Your value is what it is. There's a reason why people call you. People want to work with you on the reg, on the repeat, referrals, like all that stuff. Let that person, like, because here's the deal. I've had people come in and say, well, I got a guy that can do it for 30, that can train me for $30 an hour. Great. Have fun. Good luck. And then I'll get a call a month later. Well, that guy, I wound up hurting my back because we were doing some heavy deadlift. And I'm like, you went 3 weeks in and you were doing heavy deadlifts? He's like, yeah, and it's just bad, man. What do you think I should do? I said, well, you probably should have just paid $50 an hour and came and see me from the beginning. And that way you wouldn't be having to spend 4 weeks in PT to rehab your back, So most times, I told her this, I was like, most times I've had people say that, it's too much, I can't afford it, or I'll go to the cheaper guy. Every one of those people usually wind up coming right back to me because that's what my value is,
And it lets you know who's committed and who's not.
Yeah. If you're here,
committed.
If you're looking for a 10-minute or a $10 workout session, go join Planet Fitness.
Yeah.
Like that's what you're going to get for $10. That's it, So I remember Linda talking about that when you brought that up.
And bringing up Linda, her first conference, within months of getting licensed, was like, you're going with me to my coach's conference, St. Augustine, Florida. And she's, oh, okay, cool. Like thinking I was going to pay for it. And it's like, it's $2,500 for 2 days. She's like, I can't pay that. I didn't even make that much a month at the bank. You're going to invest in that. Trust me. She went back and forth. And
this is an investment in yourself.
She just bit the bullet.
Yeah.
Paid for the ticket, was in the room, and the tables were like, these are currently the top North America real estate brokers. Linda was at that table. Her life, that $2,500 completely changed the trajectory of her career because she was treated like she was one of them.
Yeah.
To be in that room. Whether you can go pay for download a e-course online for something you're not going to read or do for $5. And then ever since then, now that coach to be in that room with where he coaches at is $250,000 a room in that class. That's who they're with. That's who you get ideas from. Back to the level of commitment you want to do and where you want to go with that. With that, that's one thing you need to ask yourself.
Yeah. So, and Linda, we're not picking on you, dear. We love you. But again, like, Linda, you're great. Like, be confident in what you do for a living. Be confident in how good you are at it. Be confident that if someone's going to come back and try and haggle with you on a price of what you charge, look, these are the reasons why I charge this. These are the reasons why I charge this. That means you don't have to do this. You don't have to do that. Like, if you want a hands-off experience on your end and you want me to handle the brunt of it, that's the reason why I charge what I charge. If you want to go see somebody else that won't do all that and charge you less, well, that's fine, but you're going to have to do more on your end, and you just told me you're busy, you're flying out of here tomorrow and you're not going to be back for another 3 weeks. So you decide, but what I find hilarious is that you'll have people that come in and haggle with a price on something like selling your house or finding you a house to buy, and they'll haggle with you on whatever the price is, but yet for something like, and yet they're driving a brand new car, or they've got a brand new this, or they've got all this stuff. It's like, you realize if you just cut like 2 of your subscription channels per month, Netflix, Hulu, Disney,
whatever it is you're
YouTube
watching.
TV, whatever. If you cut 2 of those out a month, that would cover what you're arguing about with Linda. You know what I mean? So again, it's just you meeting people where they're at. Some people are focused on having the nice shiny car that they can't afford, but it looks like they're super popular and important because they got to keep up with the Joneses. Or you can live within your means, not be stressed out to the gills all the time, not worrying about your boat, where you're going to park it, where you're going to do if it's scuffed up, what you're going to do when the engine breaks, when it doesn't start on the first turn, and then the trailer has a flat tire. All of the stuff that just goes along with that. Or you can simplify your life, live within your means, and once you get to that next level of income or just your business grows, then you can look to do that stuff that's more comfortable to do, that car that you can now afford that you don't have to stress about. So
it's really like, pick how much stress you want. Which cup do you want? This much stress, and hold it out here. This one, and you can put it down.
See which one you can hold out longer.
Yeah, I know you guys have seen that video. You know exactly what video I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah.
On that. Incredible. And also, if you're charging people, like, Matt is the best. One of the best. There's wonderful trainers in town, but Matt is one of the best. That's who you're paying for. I don't fuck around in the real estate world. People call me because they know what they're going to get, what to expect, and we're going to make money.
Yep.
And I get phone calls now, at least after 20 years now. I just have to answer my phone, thank God, after all those years of work. But we put the time in. We put the time in. I have a quote up in the front that says, "Oh, you want to pay less? I have people that pay more." Because they know what they're getting with me. We don't fuck around.
Yeah.
We do this consistently because we don't fuck around.
Yeah. No, I'm here to save people's lives. If you want to haggle over $5, I don't have time for it. You know, it's just not something I'm going to prioritize my time around is haggling. Just not going to do it. So.
And there's results. We
Yeah.
have results to show for it.
Got people that have lost over 100 pounds. I've got people that are more flexible. I got people that have started running for the first time in years. People that haven't walked unlike a penguin since their last knee replacement, you know? So again, I know what I've done. I don't have to explain it to anybody. I can just show my proof of work, my body of work, and that explains it. I mean, that's my resume. This is what this guy looked like. Now he looks like this 2 years later. Any questions?
2 years, not 2 hours later.
Yes.
Not 2 training sessions later.
Yes. Yeah, and this is somebody that used to come in hungover and stayed out late and just came in looking like shit and working out like shit, and then he'd have to go in the bathroom and throw up a couple times and come out. Now this person doesn't stay out late. He's changed his life. He's kind of gotten his routine in. He doesn't drink nearly as much. If he does, it's earlier in the day. He doesn't stay out till 3 a.m. trying to do that stuff.
Yeah.
So again, saving lives, helping lives, doing the things I can with what God gave me. So that's what I do.
And if it's a question you're asking yourself after this podcast, how do you want to be received when you get home?
Yeah.
That's making my day better.
Is it your kid's fault that you're stressed when you come home from work?
Some parents will say yes.
Is it your wife's fault that you're stressed when you get home from a long day of work? Probably not. It's probably something you need to deal with. So either you need to get your mind right before you walk through that door, or you need to go for a walk or go exercise after work, whatever you got to do. But again, that's not on your kids. That's not on your wife or your spouse. That's on you. You got to figure that shit out, okay? And your kids, yes, they do make you happy. Yes, your spouse does make you happy, but it's not their job to make you happy. Happiness comes from within you. You have to appreciate and love yourself before that radiates outward, okay? So if you're not happy with your current situation, look inside here and start doing a long, hard look in the mirror and go through your inventory. What's making you so unhappy? What's pissing you off? Okay? And make adjustments. That's what you got to do. That's what I had to do. Okay? And
Ladies and gentlemen, the Not So Perfect
It's not hard, but you can do it. And I am proof. And I'm not.
And were you thinking this way 7 years ago?
7 years ago, I was grasping at anything and everything I could to try and get my life out of the gutter that it was in. So when you're that desperate and willing to do anything to get better, you'd be surprised what you'd be willing to do to get better.
So listeners, you can get to this. It's possible to get to this side. Ask for help. Reach out to those loved ones.
Yeah.
They're telling you the truth, especially your loved ones. Talk to your grandma.
Yeah, so, that reminds me. Last Friday, I went up to Valley Hope for renewal day, my 7th year renewal day, because I graduated in July 7 years ago from that. So I went up there and... I had somebody ask a pretty good question while I was up there that made me think a little bit. And the question was, how are you? And these are, so I go up and get my cut, but I'm speaking to the people that are currently enrolled in Valley Hope Rehab. So they're inpatient. So these are people that are there for 28 days, and they're at some point in their journey of being there. And I get there, I'm all smiles. I can't get a smile off my face because, man, this takes me back. When shit was real sketchy, where I was real on edge, But I found a lot about myself in those 28 days being up there. And everyone's like, you haven't stopped smiling since you've been here. Like, what's the deal? I said, guys, it's like, my life would be so different if I hadn't stayed sober throughout this experience. The person you'd be seeing today, let's say I went to Valley Hope, but I didn't stay sober, and here I am 7 years later and I came back, what you'd be looking at is someone that had to serve 5 years in jail. Okay, so I don't think I'd be the same person if I spent 5 years in prison for DWIs. This would not be the version of me you would get. I have a feeling you'd get a much harder version. Probably not a better version.
And that's hoping that's what it would have happened. Because what if you got out and then you went and drunk drive and killed somebody?
Well, and again, I didn't even know if I didn't know treatment court was an option. So I thought all I was looking at was 5 years in prison. Maybe get out early for good behavior if that was the case. I didn't know. But I was expecting the next 5 years of my life to be behind bars. So the fact that treatment court was an option, that's a huge plus for me. The fact that I got into treatment court, that was a huge life changer for me. So again, I look at myself as I'm on borrowed time. You know, I got to steal 5 years of my life that otherwise would have been taken away from me. So if that doesn't fucking excite you, this is my second chance at life. So I'm not gonna fuck it up. I'm not gonna squander it. I'm not gonna waste a single minute of it if I can help it. So again, if you wanna know why I'm always smiling and happy, it's because I'm not in jail. I'm not in prison. I'm not living in that prison of being drunk and just miserable and hating myself and everybody around me all the time. And it's not because I hated you because I actually hated you. I hated you because I was jealous that you guys were smiling and happy and I was miserable inside, you know? So if you guys want to get some work done, you can. You just got to start.
And that's a huge thing to overcome, man. So
Yeah.
we've come a long way.
Well, it just goes to show you it's not impossible, guys. I thought it was impossible day one of this journey. It's not. Just keep showing up. Be consistent for yourself. Show up for yourself every day.
And to see another perspective of smiling, our adventure as a family, we grew up I was born in El Salvador, a terrible country at the time. We made it to Los Angeles where it's millions of people. Like, I don't think some people locally here understand what it's like growing up with millions of people. Where here we have 3 high schools.
3 high schools, yep. Population around 50 or so thousand.
So in just my 5-mile radius, let's call it, we had about a dozen high schools. Millions of people, millions of workers, millions of little plazas and small businesses, you know, and just you can go all day without ever speaking English. You know, that's how much Hispanic people then, but it was just so huge. But my goal was to make it out of there because I knew there was more to life. So we made it out of there alive. Well, made it out of El Salvador alive during Civil War. Made it out of Los Angeles, the ghettos, alive. Not that our parents put us in a bad position, but going to school.
Was that LA in the 90s?
That was LA in the 90s.
Not the safest, best place to be during the 90s
My sister's
for LA.
Bellflower High School, my sister, I remember the school got shut down because there was a riot. The Hispanics versus the African Americans. There was a riot at my sister's high school. When I was in elementary school, she was there. But we made it out of there alive. I find the Midwest, or the Midwest finds me, you know, and it's a great place to be alive at. Like, I just drove to Versailles, through Versailles to go show houses at the lake, and it's so beautiful. You know, we made it out alive. You don't have it that bad here in the Midwest. It could be bad. Well, we're talking about how the perspective of things can be, but we get another day. You can still make a phone call to your family. You're not in martial law. Soldiers aren't staying in your house. You don't see helicopters just shooting down. Like that's. I didn't realize it till lately that's not postpartum. What's it called? Trauma, but what's it called when the soldiers come back?
Oh, PTSD.
PTSD from the war. Like when I hear helicopters, like it's time to take cover, or fireworks. 4th of July, it's a hard thing. I love it. I love fireworks, but it's a hard thing because those were gunshots daily for months.
Right. Yeah.
You know, that we made it out alive. We made it out alive. Like we're lucky to be alive. So men, especially now, learn how to be lucky to be alive.
Yeah.
You are lucky to be alive. You get another day. You got both eyeballs. You can smell. Even if you have children, like we're trying to figure out this suicide situation, which I don't think we ever will, because it's in the millions. And we have another podcast that shows the stats. It's just stress.
Yeah.
I think it is just stress, and you can overcome. Here's an example, and everything you do of other people that overcome. Like you're on 7 years that you've overcome. I'm sure you still think about the lady you called 7 years ago where she was 28 years sober. I think that was the Lifeline, the lady you called.
Are you talking about the BetterHelp?
Yeah, BetterHelp.
Yeah. So I didn't do that until about year 5. Is when I got a hold of her.
And he's like, you're that much ahead of me? How the heck did you do that?
Yeah, but again, it's just simple things. But, you know, we'll end with this. So, you know, in terms of like your outlook on life, okay? So I came home Monday after work. I got home a little after 10 o'clock, 10:15, 10:30. Got home and Started walking up the steps and got a little funky odor as I got halfway up the steps. I'm like, smells a little odd. So anyways, I got upstairs and asked the dog if he wanted to go for a walk, which he obliged and said yes. So I went over to go grab his harness and I was putting it on and I looked down into the front room and I see there's just a big old pile of dog crap right on the hardwood floor.
Yeah, Carlos.
So we went for our walk and I came home and started cleaning that up, dry heaving, gagging and all that fun stuff because I accidentally got my thumb in it. But anyway, so I was talking to my dad later that day. He's like, how's your day been? I'm like, oh, not too bad. I said I had a busy morning and, at work till about 10, got home a little after about 10:30. So I saw Carlos took a big crap on the hardwood, so I had to clean all that up. My dad's like, oh my gosh, what's wrong with him? Everything, why would he do that? Blah, 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 blah. I was like, Dad, I'm looking for the silver lining in him shitting on the hardwood floor. I go, all I'm glad is that, or the bright side of this story is he shit on the hardwood floor instead of the carpet. So guess what? That's a win
I
for
think
me.
you said instead of your pillow.
No. Last time he shit on the carpet and on the hardwood, it took all day to clean up that carpet. This hardwood took about 15 minutes. So I can handle that. And again, it's your outlook on everything. Okay? That's a shitty situation. No pun intended, but it is. But it could have been a lot worse, like trying to scrape peanut butter out of shag carpet. It's not great. It's not fun. It's probably not effective.
And Carlos, you lived
So,
to live another
Carlos,
day.
thank you for shitting on the hardwood floor instead of the carpet today. See how easy that is, guys?
There's the smile.
Turning a
Still
negative
smiling.
into a positive. So if you don't think you can out of shit, you sure can. That being said, adios.
Keep that smile on your face. Thank you for watching the Not So Perfect
We'll
podcast.
see you guys next time.
Peace.
Peace.